This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, March 28th of 2025. It is a windy Friday. We're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I talk with Seth Irwin of DEKALB as we talk about the latest corn traits that they are offering for this year. We'll also have a check at the closing markets with the folks from agmarket.net. But first, here's my conversation with Seth as we had a discussion at Commodity Classic in Denver, Colorado. Planting season is going to be upon us before we know it. What are some of the things you guys are looking forward to this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, it's been beautiful here in Denver. 60 degrees. It makes you think, how quick is spring going to be here? So we got some time yet, but yeah, it's going to come up quick. We're really excited about market year 25 here, planting season 25. We've got 26 new products here in the DEKALB lineup. We're expanding our VT4 Pro platform. As we think about Iowa specifically, we see that trait being a very dominant trait moving forward. We've got a great group of products there that I think is going to bring a lot of yield potential and a lot of protection to the farmers in Iowa.
And for anyone who's not familiar yet, in that VT4 lineup, what are they looking at for the top benefits?
So it's going to give you insect protection from corn rootworm beetle. And what we're excited about there is we're removing the Herculex trait. And what that's done is that has unlocked the DEKALB germplasm potential. So we're seeing tremendous yield come from this trait while also giving us insect protection in that low to moderate insect pressure environment. We still have SmartStax Pro. That's still our lead recommendation when you've got that heavy rootworm pressure, those corn on corn acres. That's where you'd want to go. But if you've got that low to moderate pressure, VT4 Pro is what we're excited about. It's going to give you that insect protection. It's going to come with the RNAi technology to help protect ourselves from that insect. But also the biggest thing that I'm excited about is unlocking the germplasm potential that the DEKALB lineup has.
And then, of course, corn rootworm is projected to potentially be an even bigger issue this year. We had a very mild winter, so it didn't really get cold enough to quite kill everything off. So when it comes to corn rootworm, especially in a year like this, might have that heightened pressure. Very important to get ahead of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the traits are going to be your best defense against that. So this wouldn't be the season you would want to skimp on. That wouldn't be a year you would want to take a chance. If you've got pressure, if you've had historical pressure, it's something you definitely want to take a look at. And then really understanding what is that level of pressure. We've got different options. It's not a one-size-fits-all anymore, so understanding, do we need that SmartStax Pro that's going to give you the best rootworm protection in the industry, or do we want to come with VT4 Pro that gives you that moderate protection but also yield potential to go with it?
And of course, I know short corn has also been a very big development recently. Feels really recent, feels really new, but it's actually been in the industry for quite a while. When it comes to that short stature corn, what are some of the things you guys are looking forward to on that this year?
Yeah, we're going to continue to expand our Groundbreakers program. Iowa is one of the key states that we're focusing on there. As we head into market year 25, we're looking at over 100,000 acres of that. We're continuing to still be with the native trait, and that's how we're driving that. We've got SD419 coming later on in the decade, and that's going to be the biotech trait that we can insert into our lineup to give us that more availability of getting short stature corn into more of our germplasm. But that's something that we do believe is going to create great security for the farmers, access to the plants, and then at the end of the day, we got to end it up with some yield in the combine.
And in Iowa, we're no stranger to those wind events, and especially the past few years, we've had several that have really knocked the corn down. Short stature corn able to handle that a little bit better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. We've seen it, through testing. We've got some great ways that we do some testing. We'll take helicopters over the plants to see, hey, how does it respond to short stature corn versus tall corn, but then also just the natural events. So we've got our plots all throughout Iowa. So we've got great opportunistic events where we see how short stature corn is holding up versus our traditional tall corn.
And then what are we looking at for the application window on short stature corn? Because I know farmers are really valuing the flexibility and having those post-emergence application windows.
That's one of the key benefits when we think about short stature corn is the access to that short stature corn really throughout the season. The goal is that you can be able to get over that with a sprayer throughout the season.
All right. Seth, is there anything else when it comes to the corn lineup for this year that our viewers and listeners should know about today?
Well, the only thing I would put a plug in for two products that I love that are huge in Iowa is 114.99 and DKC 110.10. You're going to have a Smart Stacks product there and a VT4 Pro product that I think are going to bring a lot of potential to Iowa. It's something that a couple of products that we've just recently launched. You notice they've got the 3-digit DEKALB numbering system, so that they're newer products for us. They're something that we're really excited about.
All right, thanks for your time today, Seth, and enjoy the rest of Commodity Classic. For anyone who would like to get in touch and learn more from DEKALB, how can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say reach out to your local reps, your TAs, your FSRs, your dealers. They're going to be the ones that are going to give you the local best agronomics for your footprint, for your ground. Please reach out to them and learn what's exciting happening in their really specific footprint.
That again was Seth Irwin of DEKALB Corn. We'll take a look at the closing market prices next, but first, here's a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and we're here now with Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net for a check of the closing markets. Curt, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
Well, we had fear early in the marketplace, particularly in corn, down 7. It came roaring back. The old corn up 2 to 3. New corn still a little lower on the day, but on the weekly chart, we did finish about 10 to 8 cents lower on the weekly scale. Soybeans up 6 to 8 cents on the weekly chart, up 12 to 20 cents. Soybean oil gets the star for the biggest turnaround here this week. And the wheat market down 2 to 3 cents on the day, but down 29 cents on the week. So just real mixed views out there. But the bean oil, better than expected exports, so they decided to run with it. So soybean oil has been running the wave of offsetting some of this fear going into next week.
So then, like you mentioned, that fear into next week, not only do we have the USDA reports on Monday, tariffs going back into effect as well. I have heard, though, that there's a chance that the grain markets have factored a lot of that tariff risk in already. Is that true?
Boy, you would think so. We've taken a lot of premium out of the market, a lot of weather premium out of the market. And so a lot of this is priced in. We'll see what actions take place. Vietnam had a 10% tariff on our ethanol. They lowered it down to 5%. So maybe we can see some little give and take there to help matters out. But the big thing is it's opening day for the grain market next week on Monday, just like baseball, because once we see what those acreage numbers are, that's going to be the top part of the supply-demand balance sheet. Then from there on out, games on from determining how big a yield to put on it, how big a demand to put on it. And they'll move that bottom line up and down multiple times for the next year and a half there.
And we know a big focus right now is on the grain markets. How have the cattle and hogs traded this week as well?
Well, the cattle complex on the daily chart finished down 70, 80, 90 cents. On the weekly chart, up $1.90, $2.30 or so. The big news in the fat market is just continues to remain strong. There's some talk of cash trade, 214, 216. There was rumor of 220. So, man, if we get a 220 trade, we're going to have to see this market stay fairly stout. So we're still in the process of dealing with the tight fundamental picture. On the pork side of the equation, we've just been trugging sideways. Today, we're down 20 to 30. On the weekly chart, April's are up 30, 60 cents. The back end down $1.50. But kind of disappointing in the hogs, caught sideways because we had that hog and pig report, and it showed less numbers than what the trade was looking for. All hogs and pigs, 99.8. Kept for breeding, 99.4. Marketing, 99.8. So ideas where we would start out strong here on Friday, but we were firm but gave up ship there late in the day.
All right, Curt, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get more marketing information from agmarket.net, how can they do that?
1-800-779-1515, but you can go to agmarket.net, click on Intel.
Thanks for the conversation as always, Curt, and we'll talk again soon.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks again to the folks at agmarket.net for their great market analysis as always. We'll go ahead now and take a look at the closing market prices through the market window at iowaagnet.com.
May corn up 3 1/4 at 4.53 1/4. May soybeans up 6 1/4 at 10.23 even. May soybean meal down 1 even at 2.9350. May soybean oil up 89 cents at 45.16. Chicago wheat down 3 3/4 at 5.28 1/4. Kansas City hard red wheat down 14 1/2 at 5.51 3/4. Minneapolis spring wheat down 7 1/2 at 5.81 even. May oats down 6 3/4 at 3.50 1/4. On the Merc, April live cattle down 72 cents at 208.82. April feeders down 62 cents at 286.92. April lean hogs down 32 cents at 86.70. Pork cutout went unchanged at 98.07. And April Class 3 milk down 2 cents at 17.16.
That brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok. You can find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM/PM on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Check out as well our free morning, midday, and closing market podcasts, as well as the Iowa Ag Matters podcast and Pots of Potential. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson, Andy Peterson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.